Picture this, a cargo plane so massive it could swallow a football field, tanks with 5 turrets that looked like rolling fortresses, and flying ships that skimmed across water faster than most jets. The Soviet Union didn't just build machines, they built monuments to human ambition that honestly defied every rule of conventional engineering. These weren't just vehicles, they were statements of power, dreams made of steel and concrete that announced to the world that impossibility was just another engineering challenge to overcome. Today we're exploring 10 Soviet creations that, well, redefined what machines could actually accomplish. The discovery that changed everything. The Antonov An-225 Mriya was the largest aircraft ever built, so massive that its cargo hold could fit 50 cars with room to spare. This Ukrainian giant measured 275 feet long with a wingspan of 290 feet, powered by 6 turbofan engines that generated enough thrust to lift a fully loaded 747 into the sky. Originally designed to carry the Soviet space shuttle Buran on its back, the An-225 represented the pinnacle of cargo aircraft engineering. Its maximum takeoff weight reached 640 tons, equivalent to 400 average cars stacked together. The aircraft's 32-wheel landing gear distributed this enormous weight across multiple contact points, allowing it to operate from airports that couldn't handle conventional heavy cargo planes. What made the Mriya truly extraordinary was its versatility. Beyond space shuttle transport, it carried everything from power plant generators to humanitarian aid supplies. In 2010, it transported the longest cargo item in aviation history, 2 138-foot wind turbine blades from China to Denmark. The aircraft's built-in crane system could handle 33-ton loads, while its pressurized cargo compartment maintained perfect conditions for sensitive equipment. The An-225's operational capabilities were equally impressive. Despite its size, it could reach altitudes of 36,000 feet and cruise at 528 miles per hour. Its range of 9,569 miles meant it could fly from London to Australia without refueling, making it the ultimate global cargo solution. Tragically, this engineering marvel was destroyed during the 2022 conflict in Ukraine, ending the operational life of humanity's largest flying machine and marking the loss of an irreplaceable piece of aviation history. An object unlike anything. The T-35 was the Soviet Union's answer to the question, what if we built a tank that looked like a land battleship? This 5-turreted monster measured 32 feet long, 10 feet wide, and 11 feet tall, making it one of the most imposing armored vehicles ever constructed. Weighing 45 tons and requiring a crew of 11 men, the T-35 bristled with weaponry that would make modern tanks envious. Its main turret housed a 76mm cannon, while 2 smaller turrets carried 45mm guns, and 5 additional positions mounted 7.62mm machine guns. This firepower arrangement meant the T-35 could engage multiple targets simultaneously from different directions, a capability no other tank possessed. The engineering challenge of coordinating 5 separate turrets was immense. Each turret operated independently, requiring constant communication between crew members to avoid friendly fire incidents. The tank's internal layout resembled a cramped apartment building, with fighting compartments separated from each other, and some turrets actually blocking access hatches. Despite its impressive appearance, the T-35 proved mechanically unreliable in combat. During Operation Barbarossa, most T-35s were lost to mechanical failures rather than enemy action. The complex transmission system and underpowered 500-horsepower engine struggled to move the massive vehicle effectively, limiting its operational speed to just 19 miles per hour on roads. Only 61 T-35s were ever built between 1934 and 1939, making it one of the rarest tanks in military history. While it failed as a practical weapon, the T-35 succeeded as a propaganda tool, appearing in countless parades and demonstrating Soviet industrial might to the world. The mysterious hum of The Lund-class Ekranoplan was the only ground effect vehicle ever deployed as an operational warship, earning the nickname Caspian Sea Monster from confused American intelligence analysts who spotted it on satellite imagery. This 242-foot-long beast could skim across water at 342 miles per hour while carrying 6 anti-ship missiles on its back. Ground effect technology allowed the Lund to fly just 13 feet above water surfaces, using compressed air beneath its wings to create lift. This unique flight envelope made it invisible to ship-based radar systems, while remaining too low for conventional aircraft interception. The result was a vehicle that combined the speed of an aircraft with the stealth characteristics of a submarine. The Lund's military capabilities were formidable. Its 6 P-270 Mosquet missiles could engage targets at ranges exceeding 75 miles, while its low-altitude approach made defensive countermeasures nearly impossible. The craft could reach combat zones faster than any surface vessel, while carrying firepower equivalent to a guided missile destroyer. Operationally, the Lund served with the Soviet Caspian Flotilla from 1987 until the late 1990s. Its massive Kuznetsov NK-87 engines borrowed from the Il-86 airliner provided 28,600 pounds of thrust each, enabling rapid acceleration and sustained high-speed flight over water. The program ended when the Soviet Union collapsed, leaving only one completed Lund-class vehicle. Today, this remarkable machine sits preserved on a beach in Dagestan, Russia, serving as a tourist attraction and a reminder of Soviet engineering ambition that, honestly, pushed the boundaries between sea and sky. Buran Space Shuttle. Buran Space Shuttle represented the Soviet Union's most ambitious attempt to match American space technology, creating a reusable spacecraft that could perform fully automated missions without human pilots aboard. This achievement made Buran the first spaceplane capable of unmanned orbital flight and autonomous landing. Unlike NASA's space shuttle, Buran launched aboard the massive Energia rocket, with its main engines remaining on the booster rather than the orbiter. This design philosophy allowed Buran to carry heavier payloads while reducing the complexity of the reusable vehicle. The spacecraft measured 119 feet long with a 78-foot wingspan, capable of delivering 30 tons to orbit and returning 20 tons to Earth. Buran's November 15, 1988 flight demonstrated technological capabilities that NASA's shuttle couldn't match. The spacecraft completed 2 orbits in 208 minutes, performing a perfect automated landing at Baikonur Cosmodrome without any human intervention. This autonomous capability resulted from sophisticated computer systems that could adapt to changing conditions during re-entry and landing. The program's scale was staggering. Over 1,000 companies across the Soviet Union contributed to Buran's development, making it the largest and most expensive project in Soviet space history. The spacecraft featured advanced thermal protection systems, life support capabilities for 6 crew members, and a cargo bay designed for military and civilian missions. Despite its technical success, Buran flew only once before the Soviet Union's collapse ended the program in 1993. The sole operational orbiter was destroyed in 2002 when its storage hangar collapsed, ending the remarkable story of the Soviet space shuttle that proved automated spaceflight was possible decades before modern autonomous systems. The Heliopause's shocking. The VDNKH robot emerged from the Soviet Union's ambitious vision of a future where humanoid machines would work alongside humans in industry and daily life. Displayed at Moscow's Exhibition of Achievements of National Economy in 1959, this early humanoid robot captured imaginations and demonstrated Soviet technological prowess during the height of the Cold War. Standing 1.8 meters tall, the VDNKH robot could execute 18 different commands via radio control, including basic movements, gestures, and responses to light and sound stimuli. Its sophisticated control system allowed operators to demonstrate complex sequences that mimicked human behavior, creating an illusion of artificial intelligence that amazed exhibition visitors. The robot's design philosophy reflected Soviet optimism about technological progress. Engineers envisioned a future where such machines would perform dangerous industrial tasks, assist in space exploration, and support human workers in various capacities. The VDNKH robot served as both a technological demonstration and a propaganda tool, showcasing Soviet innovation in emerging fields like cybernetics and automation. Performance demonstrations occurred every 2 hours on a specially constructed stage in front of the electrification pavilion. The robot's ability to see and hear through primitive sensors created an interactive experience that seemed decades ahead of its time. Audiences watched in amazement as the machine responded to commands and environmental stimuli with human-like movements. While primitive compared to modern robotics, the VDNKH robot played a crucial role in Soviet technological development. It inspired a generation of engineers and scientists while demonstrating that human-machine collaboration was not just science fiction, but an achievable goal through dedicated engineering and innovation. The search for alien signals begins. The MAZ 7907 stands as the most extreme truck ever built, featuring 24 wheels, 2 gas turbine engines, and the capability to transport 100-ton intercontinental ballistic missiles across any terrain. This 92-foot-long monster was designed to carry the RT-23 Molodets ICBM, a nuclear weapon capable of reaching targets 6,200 miles away. Engineering the MAZ 7907 required solving unprecedented challenges. The vehicle's 24 wheels were individually powered by electric motors, with electricity generated by twin 1,250 horsepower gas turbine engines borrowed from T-80 tanks. This turbine electric drive system provided the torque necessary to move 150-ton payloads while maintaining mobility across rough terrain. The truck's articulated frame design allowed it to navigate obstacles that would immobilize conventional vehicles. 8 pairs of steerable wheels could turn synchronously for crabbing motion or asynchronously for tight turns, giving the 30-meter vehicle a turning radius of just 27 meters. Independent hydropneumatic suspension on each wheel provided 2 meters of ground clearance while maintaining stability. Only 2 MAZ 7907 prototypes were completed before the Cold War ended, making nuclear missile transport unnecessary. However, the vehicle's capabilities were proven in 1996, when one prototype successfully transported an 88-ton ship 250 kilometers from the Berezina River to Lake Narak in Belarus, demonstrating its practical utility beyond military applications. The surviving MAZ 7907 now resides in a museum, representing the pinnacle of Soviet heavy transport engineering. Its unique combination of power, mobility, and payload capacity remains unmatched by any vehicle before or since, proving that Soviet engineers could overcome any logistical challenge when national security demanded it. The 300 mysterious objects discovered. The original Caspian Sea monster, officially designated KM Ekranoplan, was an experimental ground effect vehicle that confused American intelligence so thoroughly they couldn't classify it as either aircraft or ship. This 347-foot-long behemoth represented the Soviet Union's boldest attempt to revolutionize military transportation through radical engineering. Designed by Rostislav Alexeyev in the 1960s, the KM used ground effect principles to achieve sustained flight just meters above water surfaces. 10 massive engines mounted on its forward fuselage generated enough thrust to lift the 544-ton vehicle while maintaining speeds up to 460 miles per hour. This combination of size and speed created capabilities that no conventional aircraft or ship could match. The KM's strategic advantages were immediately apparent to military planners. Flying below radar detection altitude while maintaining aircraft-like speeds, it could deliver troops, equipment, or weapons to coastal targets without warning. Its ability to operate over water eliminated the need for runways while providing access to 70% of Earth's surface. Testing revealed both the vehicle's potential and limitations. The KM successfully demonstrated its flight capabilities during numerous test missions, proving that ground effect could support vehicles far larger than anyone previously imagined. However, operational constraints became evident. The craft could only fly safely in calm weather conditions, and saltwater spray caused engine corrosion problems. The program ended in 1980 when pilot error caused the KM to crash during a test flight. Despite its ultimate failure, the Caspian Sea monster proved that unconventional engineering approaches could create entirely new categories of vehicles, inspiring future developments in ground effect technology worldwide. The implications of alien technology. The MiL V-12 helicopter holds the distinction of being the largest helicopter ever built, a twin-rotor giant designed to transport intercontinental ballistic missiles to remote launch sites across the Soviet Union. With rotors spanning 220 feet tip to tip, this mechanical praying mantis could lift payloads that challenged the laws of physics. Powered by 4 massive turboshaft engines producing 6,500 horsepower each, the V-12 generated enough lift to carry 88,000 pounds of cargo to altitude. Its side-by-side rotor configuration eliminated the torque problems that plagued single-rotor heavy-lift helicopters, while providing redundancy crucial for carrying nuclear weapons across vast distances. The helicopter's record-setting capabilities were demonstrated in 1969, when test pilots carried a 40,000-kilogram load to 2,255 meters altitude, a helicopter weightlifting record that remains unbroken today. This achievement proved that rotorcraft could handle strategic cargo missions previously reserved for fixed-wing aircraft, opening new possibilities for military logistics. Operating the V-12 required exceptional skill and coordination. 6 crew members, including a dedicated electrician, managed the complex systems necessary to keep the giant airborne. The helicopter's enormous size created unique handling challenges, with rotor wash powerful enough to damage ground facilities and nearby aircraft. Despite successful testing, the V-12 never entered production. The Soviet military ultimately chose rail-mobile missile systems over helicopter transport, making the massive rotorcraft unnecessary. Only 2 prototypes were built, representing the absolute limits of helicopter technology and demonstrating that Soviet engineers could scale any concept to unprecedented proportions when strategic requirements demanded it.
Tsar tank.
The Tsar tank represented Imperial Russia's most bizarre approach to armored warfare, featuring 2 enormous 27-foot diameter wheels at the front and a small trailing wheel at the rear. This tricycle-like armored vehicle looked more like a giant penny-farthing bicycle than a military weapon, yet it embodied revolutionary thinking about battlefield mobility. Designed in 1914 by Nikolai Lebedenko, the Tsar tank's unusual configuration aimed to solve trench warfare's mobility problems. The massive front wheels could theoretically roll over trenches, obstacles, and rough terrain that would stop conventional tracked vehicles. At 40 feet long and 30 feet tall, the vehicle towered over battlefield obstacles while providing an elevated firing platform for its crew. The tank's armament included multiple machine guns and cannon positions distributed throughout its armored hull. Crew members operated from various levels within the vehicle, with gunners positioned to provide 360-degree coverage. The elevated design offered excellent visibility and firing angles that ground-level tanks couldn't achieve. However, the Tsar tank's first test revealed fatal flaws in its design. The rear wheel, much smaller than the front wheels, immediately became stuck in soft ground, immobilizing the entire vehicle. The massive front wheels, while impressive in concept, created enormous ground pressure that caused the tank to sink into anything softer than concrete. After this embarrassing failure, the Tsar tank was abandoned in the testing area, where it remained until 1923. Despite its impractical design, the vehicle demonstrated Russian willingness to pursue radical solutions to military challenges, establishing a tradition of unconventional thinking that would characterize Soviet engineering for decades.
Tsar tank.
The Bartini-Beriev VVA-14 looked like it flew straight out of a science fiction movie, resembling Star Wars Millennium Falcon, 5 years before that film was even made. This vertical takeoff amphibious aircraft represented one of the Soviet Union's most ambitious attempts to create a multi-role vehicle capable of operating from land, water, or aircraft carriers. Designed by Italian-born engineer Roberto Bartini, the VVA-14 featured an unusual configuration with a central fuselage flanked by 2 large pontoons and multiple lift engines for vertical flight. This design allowed the aircraft to take off vertically like a helicopter, transition to horizontal flight like an airplane, and land on water like a seaplane, all within a single mission profile. The aircraft's intended role was anti-submarine warfare, using its unique capabilities to patrol vast ocean areas while remaining independent of traditional airfields. 14 lift engines mounted in the pontoons provided vertical thrust, while 2 cruise engines enabled high-speed horizontal flight. The combination promised unprecedented operational flexibility for naval aviation. Testing began in 1972, with the VVA-14 successfully demonstrating conventional takeoff and landing capabilities. However, the vertical flight system was never fully implemented due to technical challenges with the lift engines. The complex transition between flight modes proved more difficult than anticipated, requiring sophisticated control systems that exceeded 1970s technology. Only 3 prototypes were built before the program was canceled in 1975. Despite its failure to achieve full operational capability, the VVA-14 demonstrated Soviet willingness to pursue revolutionary aircraft concepts that pushed the boundaries of aeronautical engineering and inspired future developments in vertical takeoff technology. From flying tanks to nuclear-powered trucks, these 10 Soviet machines prove that when engineers are given unlimited budgets and impossible challenges, they create vehicles that redefine reality itself. Each machine represents a moment when Soviet designers looked at conventional wisdom and decided to build something completely different instead. While many failed to achieve their ambitious goals, they pushed technology forward and inspired innovations we still use today. These weren't just machines. They were dreams made of steel and determination. Thanks for watching Stellar Tech, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of engineering extremes. Have you ever wondered what secrets lie beyond our solar system? Bill Nye recently revealed something that honestly sent shockwaves through the scientific community. Voyager 1 has detected 300 massive objects floating in the depths of interstellar space. After 45 years of exploration, this aging spacecraft continues to make discoveries that challenge everything we thought we knew about the cosmos. These aren't just random space debris, they're mysterious structures that could hold the key to understanding whether we're truly alone in the universe. Today, we're diving deep into Voyager's most mind-bending revelations. The genesis of Voyager's epic journey. Back in 1977, NASA launched what would become humanity's most ambitious space exploration mission. Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 were originally designed for a simple 5-year mission to study Jupiter and Saturn, but these remarkable spacecraft had other plans. The timing was perfect. A rare planetary alignment that occurs only once every 175 years allowed the probes to use gravitational slingshots to reach the outer planets faster than ever before. What started as a modest exploration of gas giants evolved into the grand tour of our solar system. Voyager 2 became the first and only spacecraft to visit Uranus and Neptune, capturing images that, well, totally revolutionized our understanding of these distant worlds. The mission's success exceeded all expectations, with both spacecraft continuing to function decades beyond their planned lifespan. The secret to their longevity lies in their nuclear-powered systems and robust 1970s engineering. While their computers have less processing power than a modern calculator, their reliability has proven unmatched. Today, nearly half a century later, these cosmic pioneers continue transmitting data from the edge of known space, redefining what's possible in space exploration. Breaking the ultimate barrier. August 25, 2012 marked a historic moment in human exploration. Voyager 1 became the first human-made object to enter interstellar space. At 11 billion miles from the Sun, it crossed the heliopause, the boundary where our Sun's influence ends and the vast wilderness between stars begins. 6 years later, Voyager 2 joined its twin in this cosmic frontier, making them humanity's only ambassadors to interstellar space. The journey to this milestone wasn't easy. As the spacecraft approached the heliopause, they encountered a turbulent region where the solar wind collides with the interstellar medium. This cosmic battleground creates a protective bubble around our solar system, shielding us from the galaxy's harsh radiation. Voyager's instruments revealed that cosmic rays beyond this shield are 3 times more intense than within our solar system's protective embrace. The transition into interstellar space wasn't gradual, it was like stepping from a bustling city into a silent wilderness. The spacecraft's magnetometers detected the sudden change in magnetic field direction, while particle detectors registered the dramatic shift in cosmic ray intensity. This moment represented humanity's first direct contact with the space between stars, opening an entirely new chapter in our cosmic exploration. The mysterious humming of deep space. One of Voyager 1's most intriguing discoveries came in the form of sound, a low, persistent humming detected in the vast emptiness of interstellar space. This cosmic symphony isn't actually sound as we know it, but rather vibrations in the sparse gas that exists between stars. The discovery challenged our understanding of interstellar space as a perfect vacuum, revealing instead a dynamic environment filled with subtle activity. The humming represents the vibrations of electrons in the interstellar plasma, creating what scientists call plasma waves. These waves provide crucial information about the density and temperature of the interstellar medium, helping us understand the conditions that exist in the 99.9% of space that lies between star systems. The consistency of this humming suggests that interstellar space has a more uniform structure than previously thought. NASA's Nicola Fox emphasized the significance of this discovery, noting that no other spacecraft could have made such observations. The detection required Voyager's unique position beyond the heliopause and its sensitive instruments, which continue to function despite the extreme cold and radiation of deep space. This cosmic humming serves as a constant reminder that even in the apparent emptiness of space, there's always something happening. We just need the right tools to detect it. Defying death in the cosmic deep. Voyager's survival story honestly reads like science fiction. These spacecraft were designed to operate for just 5 years, powered by plutonium-238 that, gradually decays over time. As the radioactive fuel ages, it produces less heat, forcing NASA to make increasingly difficult decisions about which systems to shut down. Heaters that were meant to keep instruments warm in the -270-degree Fahrenheit environment of space, well, those were turned off years ago. Yet somehow, all 5 scientific instruments on both spacecraft are still functioning perfectly. This really defies all engineering expectations and, frankly, puzzles NASA experts who expected the instruments to freeze and fail long ago. The spacecraft's resilience truly demonstrates the exceptional quality of 1970s engineering and the conservative design philosophy that built redundancy into every system. The power situation gets more critical each year, with both spacecraft losing about 4 watts of power annually. NASA engineers are constantly juggling which systems to keep online, always prioritizing the most scientifically valuable instruments. Despite all these challenges, the spacecraft continued to transmit data across the 15 billion-mile void, with signals taking over 22 hours to reach Earth. This remarkable endurance has extended humanity's reach into the cosmos far beyond anyone's wildest dreams. The shape-shifting boundary of our solar system. The heliopause, which is our solar system's boundary, isn't the static barrier scientists once believed it to be. Instead, it's this dynamic, ever-changing frontier that actually moves and shifts like a living organism. Data from Voyager 1, Voyager 2, and NASA's Interstellar Boundary Explorer satellite reveal that this cosmic boundary creates unexpected angles and irregularities, really challenging our understanding of how solar systems interact with interstellar space. This discovery helps explain why Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 entered interstellar space 6 years apart, even though they were launched just weeks apart. The heliopause had shifted significantly between their crossings, demonstrating the dynamic nature of this cosmic frontier. Scientists observed the boundary moving at speeds that just contradicted existing models, suggesting that the interaction between solar wind and the interstellar medium is way more complex than previously thought. The implications are, honestly, pretty profound. If our solar system's boundary is constantly shifting, it affects how cosmic rays penetrate our protective bubble and influences the space environment around all the planets. Recent studies published in Nature Astronomy describe these findings as eye-opening, acknowledging that they challenge some fundamental assumptions about heliospheric physics. Future missions, including NASA's upcoming Interstellar Mapping and Acceleration Probe, will help scientists better understand this mysterious boundary. Electronic aphasia in deep space. In May 2023, Voyager 1 experienced what NASA engineers described as electronic aphasia. The spacecraft's attitude control system started sending garbled, incoherent data back to Earth. Like a person struggling to speak clearly, Voyager 1 seemed to lose its ability to communicate effectively, sending random patterns instead of meaningful telemetry about its health and status. The mystery only deepened when engineers realized that, despite the communication problems, Voyager 1 was actually functioning perfectly. Its radio signal remained strong and stable, which meant the high-gain antenna was still properly pointed toward Earth. The spacecraft's scientific instruments continued operating normally, completely unaware of the communication anomaly affecting their host vehicle. NASA's investigation revealed that the attitude control system had switched to a backup computer that had been dormant for years. A simple command to switch back to the primary computer resolved the issue, but the root cause still remained puzzling. Engineers suspect that cosmic radiation or maybe an errant command from another onboard system triggered the switch, highlighting the challenges of operating decades-old technology in the harsh environment of interstellar space. This incident demonstrated both Voyager's vulnerability and its remarkable resilience, proving that even after 45 years these spacecraft can overcome unexpected challenges. Cosmic IT support across 15 billion miles. Managing Voyager's computer systems presents some pretty unique challenges, honestly, challenges that make Earthbound IT support look, well, simple by comparison. These spacecraft operate with technology from the 1970s, including computers that have just 70 kilobytes of memory. That's actually less than a single smartphone photo. Yet NASA engineers regularly send software updates across the 15 billion mile void, and, that process takes over 22 hours each way at the speed of light. The programming challenges here are immense. Engineers have to write code in assembly language, the most basic form of computer programming, because get this, the spacecraft don't have operating systems or any advanced programming tools. Every instruction has to be crafted to work directly with the hardware, which really requires intimate knowledge of systems that were designed nearly half a century ago. And the code, well, it has to be absolutely perfect. There's just no opportunity for quick fixes when the nearest technician is 15 billion miles away. These software updates aren't just, routine maintenance, they're actually lifesavers. Over the years, updates have fixed failing hardware components, optimized power consumption, and even activated backup systems when primary components failed. One critical update actually saved Voyager 1 from potential disaster by activating a fail-safe mechanism when a hardware component stopped working. This kind of cosmic IT support honestly represents one of the most challenging technical achievements in human history. And it's what's kept humanity's most distant explorers operational against all odds. Revolutionizing our understanding of planetary worlds. Voyager's planetary discoveries, fundamentally changed our understanding of the solar system. Jupiter revealed itself as a world of extremes, with hundreds of massive storms, glowing auroras at its poles, and a complex ring system that's even more intricate than Saturn's. The Great Red Spot, which is a hurricane larger than Earth, had been raging for centuries, really showing us the incredible power of atmospheric dynamics on gas giant planets. Saturn's rings, once thought to be simple bands of ice and rock, turned out to be incredibly complex structures with thousands of individual ringlets and honestly, these braided patterns that just defied explanation. The discovery of spokes in Saturn's rings, those mysterious dark features that rotate with the planet, revealed that ring systems are way more dynamic than anyone ever imagined. But maybe the most shocking thing was the discovery of active volcanoes beyond Earth. Io, Jupiter's innermost large moon, displayed sulfur volcanoes erupting hundreds of miles into space, while Neptune's moon Triton showed nitrogen geysers erupting at temperatures near absolute zero. These discoveries proved that geological activity wasn't just limited to rocky planets, opening up new possibilities for understanding planetary formation and evolution. And most intriguingly, Voyager revealed that Europa and Enceladus likely harbor vast oceans beneath their icy surfaces, making them prime candidates for harboring extraterrestrial life. The Golden Record and humanity's cosmic message. Each Voyager spacecraft carries humanity's most ambitious message to the cosmos, the Golden Record. This 12-inch gold-plated copper disc contains sounds, images, and music representing Earth's diversity, including greetings in 55 languages and natural sounds from wind, rain, and animal calls. The record serves as a time capsule of human civilization, designed to survive for billions of years in the vacuum of space. Carl Sagan, who really spearheaded the Golden Record project, envisioned it as humanity's introduction to any extraterrestrial intelligence that might encounter the spacecraft. The record includes mathematical and scientific information, human anatomy diagrams, and cultural achievements ranging from Bach to Chuck Berry. It represents our species' optimistic belief that intelligence and curiosity are universal traits that could bridge the gap between civilizations. The Golden Record transforms Voyager from mere scientific instruments into cultural ambassadors. Long after their scientific missions end, these spacecraft will continue carrying humanity's message through the galaxy. In about 40,000 years, Voyager 1 will pass within 1.6 light-years of the star, Gliese 445, potentially becoming the first human artifact to enter another star system. This cosmic message represents humanity's profound desire to connect with something greater than ourselves, embodying our species' eternal quest to understand our place in the universe. Legacy of discovery and future exploration. Voyager's legacy extends far beyond its original mission, inspiring decades of huygens space exploration. The spacecraft's discoveries at Jupiter led directly to the Galileo and Juno missions, while Saturn observations inspired the Cassini-Huygens mission that spent 13 years studying the ringed planet. Voyager 2's brief encounters with Uranus and Neptune remain our only close-up studies of these ice giants, though, future missions are planned for the 2040s. Today, both Voyagers continue transmitting data from interstellar space, with NASA expecting to maintain contact until the late 2020s. The spacecraft will eventually fall silent as their power sources decay. but their journey will continue for millions of years. In about 300 years they'll enter the Oort cloud, and after 30,000 years, they'll leave our solar system entirely to orbit the galactic center. Current missions like Europa Clipper and the planned Dragonfly mission to Titan build directly on Voyager's discoveries, targeting the most promising locations for finding extraterrestrial life. The spacecraft's detection of subsurface oceans on Europa and Enceladus has absolutely revolutionized astrobiology, making these moons priority targets for future exploration. Voyager's story reminds us that the greatest discoveries often come from pushing beyond our intended limits, proving that human curiosity and engineering excellence can overcome any obstacle the universe presents. From detecting mysterious objects in interstellar space to revealing the hidden oceans of distant moons, Voyager 1 has fundamentally changed our understanding of the cosmos. Bill Nye's revelation about those 300 massive objects reminds us that even after 45 years, these remarkable spacecraft continue making discoveries that challenge our assumptions about the universe. As Voyager drifts ever deeper into the cosmic unknown, it carries with it humanity's greatest hopes and dreams. Thanks for watching Stellar Tech, and don't forget to subscribe for more incredible journeys into the mysteries of space and science. The Moon, long thought to be a silent, inactive rock, is now revealing secrets that could change everything we know about our closest celestial neighbor. Renowned physicist Michio Kaku has issued a warning after NASA detected a mysterious seismic signal deep within the Moon's core. This discovery challenges decades of assumptions and hints at dynamic processes that might even impact Earth over geological timescales. Today, we explore what this seismic activity means for lunar science, future missions, and our understanding of planetary evolution. The Moon's hidden activity revealed. For decades, scientists believed the Moon was geologically dead, its core solidifying and cooling quietly like a dying ember in space. But recent data from NASA's lunar sensors have detected unexpected seismic pulses emanating from deep within the Moon's interior, challenging everything we thought we knew about our celestial companion. These signals suggest the Moon's core is not just passively cooling, but undergoing significant changes that could reshape our understanding of lunar evolution. Physicist Michio Kaku has highlighted these findings in recent lectures, warning that the Moon's internal activity could have long-term effects on its structure and even Earth's environment over geological timescales. This seismic activity challenges the traditional view of the Moon as a static, inert body that finished its geological story billions of years ago. The discovery represents a paradigm shift in lunar science, forcing researchers to reconsider fundamental assumptions about how small planetary bodies evolve and die in our solar system. Inside the Moon's dynamic core structure. The Moon's internal structure resembles a miniature version of Earth's, with a solid inner core surrounded by a partially molten outer core that scientists are now discovering remains more active than previously thought. New analyses estimate the inner core's radius at approximately 240 kilometers, primarily composed of iron and nickel, enveloped by a fluid outer core extending roughly 350 kilometers from the Moon's center. Geological evidence from lunar rocks brought back by Apollo missions shows the Moon once possessed a magnetic field generated by its core, similar to Earth's protective magnetosphere. This ancient magnetic field, which existed billions of years ago, gradually faded as the core cooled and solidified. However, recent seismic data suggests the core might still be active in subtle but measurable ways. The core's structure includes a partial melt layer at the base of the lunar mantle, approximately 150 kilometers thick, which sits above the liquid outer core. This complex internal architecture indicates that the Moon's interior remains more dynamic than the simple cooling model previously accepted by planetary scientists. Apollo's legacy and modern seismic discoveries. NASA's Apollo missions first placed seismometers on the Moon between 1969 and 1977, with the Apollo 11 passive seismic experiment marking humanity's first attempt to listen to another world's internal activity. These instruments detected moonquakes and revealed some internal activity, recording about 100 to 200 meteorite impacts during their operational lifetime and detecting several categories of seismic events. However, the resolution of those 1970s instruments was limited by the technology available at the time. The Apollo seismometers operated until September 1977, providing valuable but incomplete data about lunar seismic activity. Now, with advanced sensors and modern analysis techniques, scientists are uncovering new categories of seismic events that were previously undetectable. These include deep moonquakes caused by tidal forces with Earth, shallow quakes with tectonic origins, and thermal quakes caused by extreme temperature fluctuations between lunar day and night. The new data suggests the moon's interior is more dynamic than once thought, with ongoing processes that continue to shape its internal structure even today. The shrinking moon theory and tectonic activity. One of the most intriguing hypotheses emerging from recent research is that the moon is slowly shrinking as its core continues to cool and solidify over geological time. This gradual contraction causes stress in the brittle lunar crust, leading to the formation of tectonic ridges, fault lines, and surface scarps that are surprisingly young in geological terms. Recent studies have identified hundreds of previously unknown ridges on the moon's surface, some of which may have formed as recently as 200 million years ago, a blink of an eye in geological terms. Using advanced mapping techniques and crater counting methods, scientists determined that these small ridges are younger than other features in their surroundings, meaning the moon's crust is still shifting and evolving today. This slow contraction and associated seismic activity could explain the mysterious seismic pulses detected recently, suggesting the moon is still adjusting internally as it continues its billion-year cooling process. The discovery challenges the long-standing belief that the moon became geologically dormant billions of years ago, and suggests that internal forces are still shaping its surface in measurable ways.
Earth-Moon gravitational dance and climate implications.
The implications of the moon's internal activity extend far beyond lunar science, potentially affecting Earth's long-term climate stability and orbital dynamics. The moon's gravitational influence stabilizes Earth's axial tilt at 23.5 degrees, which regulates our seasons and prevents chaotic climate swings that would make complex life difficult to sustain. Changes in the moon's mass distribution due to core activity and internal restructuring could subtly affect this crucial gravitational relationship over timescales of millions of years. While these effects are not immediate or catastrophic, they could influence Earth's climate cycles, tidal patterns, and even the Milankovitch cycles that govern ice ages over geological epochs. Michio Kaku has emphasized that the moon acts like a cosmic stabilizer, preventing Earth from wobbling chaotically like other planets of similar size. This stability has allowed for the slow, steady development of ecosystems and eventually human civilization. The moon's gravitational pull creates not just ocean tides, but also slight bulges in Earth's crust, generating heat through friction that contributes to our planet's internal warmth and geologic activity.
Next-generation lunar seismic monitoring.
NASA is preparing to deploy revolutionary new seismic instruments on the moon as part of upcoming Artemis missions, representing a quantum leap forward in our ability to monitor lunar internal activity. The Farside Seismic Suite, scheduled to land in Schrödinger Basin around 2026, will be the first seismic station placed on the moon's far side since the Apollo era. These next-generation seismometers will be approximately 30 times more sensitive than Apollo-era equipment, capable of detecting ground motions smaller than a single hydrogen atom. The Very Broadband Seismometer, originally designed for Mars InSight mission, represents the most sensitive seismometer ever built for space exploration. Additionally, the Lunar Environment Monitoring Station will establish a long-duration seismic station near the South Pole, where NASA's Artemis missions plan to build a permanent human presence. Unlike Apollo instruments that operated for limited periods, these new systems are designed to continuously monitor lunar seismic activity for months or even years, providing unprecedented insights into the moon's internal dynamics.
AI revolutionizes Apollo-era data analysis.
Artificial intelligence is playing, a crucial role in revolutionizing our understanding of lunar seismic activity by analyzing decades-old Apollo data with unprecedented precision. It's like machine learning algorithms are detecting patterns and anomalies in the original seismic recordings that human analysts missed or dismissed as noise during the 1970s analysis. These sophisticated AI systems can distinguish between genuine lunar activity and instrument artifacts with remarkable accuracy, flagging seismic events that didn't fit expected patterns and were often filtered out as measurement errors decades ago. NASA scientists describe this process as revolutionary, comparing it to having a conversation with someone for 50 years and suddenly realizing you've been missing half of what they've been saying. The AI analysis has revealed entire categories of seismic events occurring beneath the lunar surface that were completely missed by previous analysis techniques. These aren't just minor tremors but signatures of complex processes happening in the moon's core that provide new insights into its internal structure and ongoing geological activity. This technological breakthrough is helping scientists reconstruct a completely new picture of the moon's internal dynamics and the seismic pulse that has drawn Michio Kaku's attention.
Lunar exploration safety and future mission planning.
So, the discovery of ongoing seismic activity on the moon, well, it really raises some critical safety considerations for future lunar exploration and colonization efforts. Human missions and those mining operations planned near the lunar South Pole, they've got to carefully consider the risks posed by tectonic activity and potential moonquakes that could damage habitats or endanger astronauts. Understanding fault zones and stress patterns is just essential if we want to ensure the safety and stability of lunar habitats and infrastructure. Unlike Earth, the moon's crust doesn't have water circulation to heal cracks naturally, so once we fracture its brittle surface through mining or construction, those fractures could stick around and potentially trigger even larger seismic events. NASA's upcoming seismic networks will be absolutely vital for mapping these geological hazards and guiding mission planning for the Artemis program. The lunar regolith, which is that layer of loose material covering the moon's surface, actually sits atop a pretty complex network of faults and stress zones that could be disturbed by human activity. Future lunar bases are going to be completely dependent on their structural integrity, making seismic monitoring crucial for astronaut safety, and a habitat breach caused by unexpected seismic activity could be catastrophic, exposing crew members to the vacuum of space with very little warning or opportunity for evacuation.
A rare cosmic window for scientific discovery.
Michio Kaku emphasizes that humanity exists in a rare cosmic window, a fleeting moment in astronomical time when the moon's internal activity is still detectable before it eventually ceases forever. In another billion years or so, the moon's core may freeze solid completely, ending the geological processes we can observe today. This unique opportunity allows scientists to study planetary evolution processes that happen over billions of years, providing insights that, honestly, can't be obtained any other way. The moon is pretty much giving us a live demonstration of how small planetary bodies evolve and eventually become geologically inactive, serving as a sort of natural laboratory for understanding planetary death. Insights gained from studying the moon's core activity can inform our understanding of other rocky bodies in the solar system and beyond, including potentially habitable exoplanets. By watching the moon transition from a molten core to a solid one, scientists gain crucial insights into how different-sized worlds evolve, whether they can maintain protective magnetic fields, and their potential for supporting life. Kaku explains that we're incredibly fortunate to exist at exactly the right moment to witness the final chapters of the moon's geological story.
The moon as a key to planetary evolution.
The moon's seismic signals represent far more than just scientific curiosities. They're actually fundamental keys to understanding planetary life cycles throughout the universe. As the moon's core continues to cool and solidify, it offers researchers an unprecedented live demonstration of how small planetary bodies evolve and eventually die, providing crucial data for planetary science models. This knowledge is particularly vital as humanity prepares to return to the moon and establish a permanent presence there. Understanding the moon's internal processes helps scientists identify potentially habitable exoplanets and predict how their geological evolution might affect their ability to support life over billions of years. The moon serves as an intermediate step in planetary development, larger than asteroids but smaller than Earth-like planets, giving us really important insights into how different-sized worlds evolve. By studying how the moon's core solidifies and loses its magnetic field, scientists can develop models that predict how long smaller rocky exoplanets might maintain their protective magnetic shields. Michio Kaku's warning reminds us that the moon still holds secrets that could totally reshape our understanding of planetary science, Earth's future, and our place in the cosmic neighborhood. The moon is no longer the silent, dead rock we once thought it was. Thanks to new seismic discoveries and Michio Kaku's warnings, We now know it's a dynamic world with an active interior that could even influence Earth itself. As we prepare to return and explore further, understanding these internal processes is more important than ever before. Stay tuned for more updates on lunar science and the future of space exploration. Thanks for watching Stellar Tech, and don't forget to subscribe for more cosmic insights.